All right. Let's get to more fun stuff. Fun stuff. No more negativity, no more shenanigans. This very professional topic title here. It is, what you can't see that got cut off is Rumbleverses and Multiversus updates. So let's talk the fun stuff. First, we had the big Rumbleverse talk last week with Katana Prime, Automatic, and Tubbleware. And we were all looking forward to Tuesday, where Lord Keats, Keyman, and the Rumbleverse gang were going to show off the mid-season update. Now, I was expecting just a few tweaks here and there. They teased a couple of new things as well. But this update kind of changed the game a lot. And depending on who you ask, some say it's for the better, some say not so much. There were a lot of changes to a lot of things that were very surprising to me, some of which that I agree with and some that I don't. So let's go through them. First, the big changes are dodges have more recovery, right? This was an issue because, somebody could dodge and mash punch, which would basically give them a free dodge because if you punched afterwards, it would have just clashed. So that happened. That has more recovery now, which is hard getting used to, right? Air dodges now have way more recovery than before, which is interesting. The specific reason for it was because people were getting free jump air dodges to get out of bad situations and then coming back down with a punish. This is now no longer possible because once you air dodge, you're stuck on the ground for what seems like a millennia. These changes, the reason for these changes, I think, were good on paper. However, in practice, it feels like movement itself got nerfed. They, of course, to help mitigate that, they gave us wall dashes, they gave us wall dodges, which does let us move faster when we're climbing walls and everything, or like any other way that we would usually jump air dodge to. However, it feels like movement got a little nerfed. So it feels like your character's walking on like sticky, like, those like fly sticky pads. Like it feels like you're stepping all over those because it's hard to move around. So I think it's an adjustment thing for sure. My big issue, which if you guys saw my Rumbleverse review, one of the issues I had was with weapons not having enough recovery on their vicious attacks. This has now changed. Weapons have a little bit more recovery, so they are more punishable. I was playing earlier today. I was able to actually punish stuff. It was pretty cool. I'm a fan. Blocking got nerfed. Blocking now consumes more stamina, right? So anytime you're blocking somebody else's hit, you're losing more stamina faster. Which, again, I thought it was going to be worse off than it is, right? Because you're losing more stamina as you block. However, the big issue was the game was very easy to play because I would just hold block and would just wait for somebody to do a big grab. If you guys haven't played Rumbleverse, a huge red flash happens when somebody does a grab or an unblockable move. So just holding block and walking around waiting for somebody to do it, and then you just tap one button and you dodge out of it, was the way I played. Now, you lose stamina faster while you're blocking. And I thought it was going to be worse than it was, but it's not bad, Yeah, I thought it was going to make things difficult with how I play. I think some of the other changes made how I play more difficult, not necessarily this change. And it was really hard to open people up before, so I agree with this change for sure. All the javelins and the crusher moves now are slower. The crushers are as slow as the javelins were, which is already very slow. The crushers were very fast. And the javelins are even slower. I think they said they're as slow as a super move, which is good because javelins were very hard to react to. And with some latency, they're still kind of tough to react to. However, it has mitigated the issue a little bit, I think. Choke slams are now in line with the other stamina damage moves. They're faster, which has been hella fun to use. Especially with the change to blocking. stamina break builds have been extremely popular and extremely satisfying, if I do say so myself. I've been having some fun with it. They added hella weapons, which is fun, but also causing some problems. They added a cricket bat, which is a heavier version of a baseball bat, right? It gives you like way more durability than the metal bat or the plastic bat that we had before. They added golf clubs, which are actually pretty cool. I'm a fan of the golf clubs. They added the entire family. You have one that has 6 hits of durability. You have one that has 4, and you have one that has 3. They added pipes, which is a stronger version of the plank. Now, for those of you that haven't played the plank, essentially, if you hit somebody with a vicious plank, you get a gigantic punish. You can do a charge 1, and then you can go into super. Pipes are that, except more. And they're everywhere. You can find pipes in buildings. You can find pipes just laying on the floor. They also added a very mystical key bat, which I think there's a secret to this key bat. I think it unlocks something somewhere in Capital City. They took the time to write that it's an artifact of unknown origin in the description of the item. And this thing is just plain zany. It has unbelievable durability. It makes you run faster. It makes you jump higher. It makes you climb faster. And it gives you a glide. You can just glide around Capital City. According to Keats, it's a very rare item. 2 to 4 of them spawn in one game, which, seems very rare. However, I feel like I'm running into them way more than I thought I would. I feel like I'm running into more weapons in general than I thought I would. And I don't know if that's necessarily... according to Keats, the weapon spawn rate has remained the same. So I don't know what's causing weapons to be more present. I know, like I said, pipes are available in the world in general. So maybe that's where people are getting them. Golf club bags are a thing. So you can get golf clubs from golf club bags. Golf club bags act as street projectiles, kind of like a garbage can or a street post sign. So I think maybe the addition of those, the pipes in the environment and the golf club bags, make it seem like there's way more weapons than there were before. And as somebody who was not a big fan of weapons before, I'm not a big fan of these changes. Something else. The chair, which was, to some people, it was a problem, lost its invincibility. So if you're using a chair and you do the vicious move, which basically just makes you move forward in a giant invincible path, it's no longer invincible. So you can get hit out of it with power moves, or you can clash with other weapons. I feel like that might have taken it too far. I wasn't a big fan of the charging star, it's called. I wasn't a big fan of it. However, I think removing the invincibility in total may have been a step too far. Because I think like the whole identity of the move was that it worked against power moves and it had the invincibility. So taking away that invincibility, I think, kind of made it lose, what it had. Not necessarily made it worse, but just made it lose what it had, right? So all of these things have been a weird adjustment. In my personal opinion, I'm having a harder time playing the game. It feels like I'm getting, like I said, it feels like I'm getting stuck moving. It feels like there's a lot of weapons. It feels like all of the games I lose is from somebody third partying, right? Like some random person just sees me and like either throws something or hits me with something off screen that I would never be able to react to or notice, and I lose the game. That doesn't feel great, right? But I think it's an adjustment period. Although one thing that did bother me was this. In the presentation, either Keats or Keeman said that they're de-emphasizing reactive play. So how am I supposed to play the game? Am I supposed to guess? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that necessarily. It's very bizarre to de-emphasize reactive play. I mean, if they, and ultimately, there's one thing I'm very glad about, and it's this: the fact that they have a vision for the game, and they're trying to stick to that vision with some influence from the community, I think is very important, right? But I just don't think I understand. I don't understand how to play the game if not react to things happening on screen. Maybe I'll figure it out. I'm still having fun with the game, don't get me wrong. It's a difficult adjustment, and I think I preferred how things were to how they are. But that doesn't mean I don't like the game, if that makes sense. Right? I think that makes sense, hopefully. Walk up to your opponent and crush counter them, bro. Yeah. Well, what's it? If you can't play the game, or if you can't win the game, go fish. Yeah, no, but I mean, I'm still having fun in the game. The game's still fun. They also added a dive kick, and of course, Iron Galaxy has to add a dive kick, because for those of you that don't know, they made the game Dive Kick, which was a 2-button fighter. And if you haven't played it, go play it. It's amazing, and it's got a lot of inside FGC, or it's got a lot of FGC inside jokes. And the game is very entertaining and very fun to play. And I hesitate to say this, but Dive Kick helped me win $10,000 towards a charity. For those of you that don't know, I was a part of the Gauntlet Season 2 for Rooster Teeth. This was back in 2013, which is almost 10 years ago. That's terrifying. And Dive Kick was the last game. And the other person was not a fighting game person. So big ups to Rooster Teeth for giving me the easy win, and big ups to Dive Kick. But anyway, one other cool thing they did, and this was pretty neat, and I'm sad they didn't do it earlier, is the dives. Dives now hit OTG. So you can do... My favorite thing to do is to get a couple of stamina pods. You throw someone either with the purple Azuna drop that they added, or with a choke slam. Then you hit them with the dolphin dive. You jump, hit them again, jump, hit them again. You can hit them with 3 grabs. It's great. It's very fun, and it pisses everybody else off. It's amazing. It's awful when it's done to you, but it's very funny when it's done to someone else. I'm a fan. So, all in all, the game is still amazing. I'm still a big fan of the game. I don't necessarily agree with the changes. I don't necessarily agree with some of the changes, and I don't enjoy the game as much as I did before. However, I'm still playing the hell out of it. All that aside, Rumbleverse is still great. It's a free update, and it's a hell of an update. One thing I have noticed... Oh, yeah, they also nerfed Super. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, they nerfed Super, Defense, and Survival, then put weapons everywhere. Yeah. At the end of the day, I feel like I appreciate that they went a direction with it. I hope they go the opposite direction. But I still don't understand the emphasizing of reactive play. I genuinely don't know how to play the game if not react to things. But yeah, one other cool thing that they added is, if you guys didn't notice, at the barge, you can now see another island. And there's a bunch of posters of a resort island called Lokiki. That might be where we're going next with the Season 2 update, which I believe hits in November, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's November. But anyway, that's exciting. And the fact that they're teasing it like that, and they're they have the foresight to foreshadow things, I think is very cool. So I'm looking forward to what shenanigans comes out of that. There's also a dude laying in a plate getting seasoned like a chicken. Oh, I don't think I noticed that. That's terrifying. I tried getting the key and floating to the barge. Wasn't able to do it. I would get to the boats, and you can't stand on the boats. But I wasn't able to get to the barge to see if I could go towards the other island. It's Cannibalism Island? Ooh, that is pretty terrifying. That's awful. Oh, man. Fortnite has hit on some pretty deep and dark issues. Maybe Rumbleverse is going to hit on cannibalism. All right. That's enough about Rumbleverses. I could talk about that game all day and night, as we saw last week. But we still got a lot more stuff to talk about. And we're almost at the 1 hour mark. Holy shit. All right, let's get to Multiverses because we're running out of time and we still got a couple of things to go over. Multiverses had a big update a couple of days ago, and we were treated to this.
Will you just show me how to stay alive? You can't tell me what to do. Whoa, 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 Morty, come on! Get in the game, Morty! Ah! You're the boss. For the love of dub-dub! Jeez, I really need to chill. How do you like that? I'm Mr. Meeseek. Let me try something. Yes! Oldest Rick trick in the book. When you know nothing matters, the universe is yours. Whoa, that was cool. I defeat Gagu's more powerful than these guys every week. Oh man, okay, alright. Solve that one real quick. Alright, that's it, I'm out of here. Riggedy, riggedy, wreck, son! Infinite timelines, infinite possibilities. Good job.
Rick from Rick and Morty now joins Morty and the rest of the cast of Multiverses in Multiverses. I have been watching a lot of Rick and Morty recently. I kind of missed the boat when it first came out, but now that I'm caught up, I actually really enjoyed the show. So it's really cool to see a lot of the like the show inside jokes and the fact that they're staying truthful to the source material, much like they have been with the rest of the cast of Multiverses. It's cool to see Rick get the same kind of love. Rick, who is a mage character, fights with projectiles. He summons portals that people can go through. He throws lots of Meeseeks around. You know, you saw the Meeseeks. Look at me. Along with Rick, they added some other changes to the game. They added an anti-infinite system, which decays. It causes decays to an attack if an attack is used 4 or more times in a true combo. They added attack decay tutorials, which is about dang time because that was always a mystery to me. Even though I'm sure it was very clearly written somewhere, I missed it. So the fact that they put a tutorial of it is a big deal. Thank you, Play First Games, for adding that tutorial. And they added a new projectile class. Last time they did a big update, they added the heavy projectiles. This time around, they added the light projectiles. So, of course, light projectiles don't clash and do disappear with normal projectiles and heavy projectiles. They've been treating this game with a lot of love. They also changed the tutorial character. Before, the tutorial character was Wonder Woman. And if you completed the tutorials, you would get Wonder Woman for free. That is no longer the case. The tutorial character is now Shaggy. So if you like Shaggy, Ultra Instinct Shaggy, mind you, go play the tutorial and you might unlock him for free. And Wonder Woman can now be purchased with coins and or real money. The Gleamium, I think it's called. So big ups to Multiverses. I play that game on and off, man. That game's real fun. You know, it's really cool to have a game like that. That there's a lot of people who are super passionate about it, and the competitive scene for Multiverses is super interesting. If you haven't seen a Multiverses tournament, do yourself a favor and go watch it because both the 2v2s and the 1v1s are very, very interesting. I'm a fan. So, big ups to Multiverses. Thanks. Can't wait to dive back in and try Rick.